house is flooding. Anybody out there? I have my dad on hospice and I need to get him out of here. He's bedridden. He can't walk. He can hardly move. And look where the water is. So somebody please, we've called 911. It's bad over here. In front of the house, it's like a river. I mean, it's like a lake. They can't come look. We've lost our cars, everything. We've lived here for 30 years and this has never happened. So anybody, please, if you have a boat or something, I need help. I need to get my dad out of here. It's starting to smell like sewer in here.
Between July 3rd and 5th, 2025, an unprecedented flash flood struck the Texas Hill Country, particularly Kerr County, near the towns of Ingram and Hunt, along the Guadalupe River. Over 120 people confirmed dead. Dozens still missing, many presumed drowned or swept downstream. At least 7 children from a Christian summer camp called Camp Mystic were among the victims. The Guadalupe River rose more than 26 feet in under 1 hour, a record-breaking surge. Families were torn apart as floodwaters swept away entire buildings, vehicles, and campers with terrifying speed. The region was hit by a training storm system, a weather event where thunderstorms move repeatedly over the same area, dumping inches of rain within a short time. 10 to 14 inches of rain fell in just 6 hours, oversaturating the soil. Rivers and creeks overflowed without warning. Local flood warning systems were either outdated or non-functional. In places like Kerr County, the infrastructure simply wasn't ready for this level of rainfall. Bridges collapsed. Roads became rivers. Phone lines and electricity were cut off, isolating communities just when they needed help the most.
So I'm seeing a lot of people saying now is not the time to be talking about politics in regard to the flooding. Yes, the fuck it is. I know you're mad that I said if you voted for MAGA, you voted for this. But you did. Feel free to tag any MAGA voter you know in this video. Even the ones who were sitting on here crying about being misled. Because I've seen multiple videos now. I don't have sympathy for these Trump voters coming over. We were lied to. We were misled. Y'all called us sheep, stupid, brainwashed, liberal idiots. We tried to tell you. Kamala tried to tell y'all. Her economic plan was signed off by 23 Nobel Prize winning economists. I will never shut up about that because if y'all weren't smart enough to read it yourself, because like that dude I stitched, she's like, we don't read the bills. Why would we read any of that? We trust what they tell us. We were telling y'all. He told you. Trump even said it. Y'all voted for this. He said he was going to do it. Kamala said the only people who said he wasn't going to do Project 2025 and do all this other shit was the people who voted for him. Well, he said, but he didn't mean it like you're taking everything personal. If you voted for MAGA, this is the exact time to talk about it. If you voted for MAGA, all of the unalivings that have occurred because of the National Weather Service being cut, the tornado in, I think it was Missouri, the flooding now in Texas, all of that, you voted for that. You voted for that. We told y'all what was going to happen. Kamala tried to tell y'all what was going to happen. Trump told y'all what he was going to do. Elon told y'all what he was making cuts to, and y'all went, yes, sir.
I'm sorry, but you can't say your condolences to the families who lost loved ones in the flash flood that happened on July 4th in Texas if A, you voted for Greg Abbott, or B, you voted for Donald J. Trump. Because Greg Abbott has actively defunded FEMA in the state of Texas and in his own words has said FEMA is a useless tool and is a waste of money. And Donald J. Trump is actively defunding NOAA. Why is this important? Well, dumb Republicans like these have pocketed their own money and instead use that money to give back to billionaires when in reality it should have been used for this event and events to come. This event should have been prevented and could have been prevented, but because of these leaders, it wasn't, and because of you and your vote, the blood is on your hands and their hands.
One of the most heart-wrenching aspects of the disaster was the tragedy at Camp Mystic, a Christian girls' camp along the river. As the floodwaters surged, cabins filled with young girls were overtaken in minutes. Some counselors attempted to carry kids to safety, only to be swept away themselves. Survivors described hearing screams and prayers as the river swallowed cabins whole. One father, searching for his daughter, said, "We trusted that camp. Now, I'm pulling pieces of it out of the trees." Devastated parent, local news interview. Though the National Weather Service issued flash flood watches, the local alert systems didn't activate in time. Kerr County had been trying for years to get funding for a $1 million flood warning siren system, but requests were denied or delayed at the federal level. Without sirens, alerts, or functioning evacuation plans, people woke up to water at their feet, or worse, not at all.
Have you even heard from your president? Has he even made an announcement on social media? God knows he's on there all goddamn day, all goddamn night, and he hasn't said a word. He cuts all of the funding to the things that are going to keep people safe. Keep people safe, because he doesn't believe in climate change. Well, all of you don't believe in climate change for some strange reason, but that's another topic. But you haven't even heard a damn word out of the alleged president's mouth about all of the flooding that's taking place, all of the people in Texas who have died because of this flood, how many people are still missing, all of the property damage. But nope, not a tweet for you guys. None. That's because the alleged president doesn't care about you. Donald Trump doesn't care about the citizens of this country. He only cares about himself, his family, and his little billionaire buddies, and how they can line their pockets, cutting everything in this country that citizens need to survive. The Weather Service, NOAA, all of these things, FEMA. Who's going to help you rebuild? Who? The damn man hasn't even acknowledged you. Hasn't even acknowledged you. But yeah, happy 4th to you, right? Happy 4th of July. You gotta be kidding me. And you people fall for his bullshit. Line after line and time after fucking time. The man does not care about this country. He only cares about the billionaires. He only cares about how anything benefits him. The rest of us and the rest of this goddamn country, we are disposable. Anyway, it's just another friggin' day in Trump's America.
Today, not very far from where I am, they found a 9-month-old who didn't make it, who didn't survive the flood. They found the baby not far from here. There's a campground right here. We're in Kerr County, Texas. You can see first responders. It's so hard for them every day, but you see them gathering together and praying with a big cross. You can always tell when they've found someone because they close down the road. It seems like the only time they close down the road when they take the person away. And we've seen hearses today, and it's just terrible. I mean, there's still somewhere around 160 people missing. You know, you just think about the first responders and how hard this is on them, especially when it's a child or a 9-month-old. I talked to one woman today who was telling me how she saw an entire family that was taken away by the water. So things are still very raw out here, and just thinking of everybody involved.
As Texas mourns the lives lost in the devastating flood, many are pointing fingers at years of neglect. Under Trump's administration, critical funding to the National Weather Service and NOAA was slashed, cutting staff, ending research programs, and delaying life-saving technology. While families cried for help, the system meant to protect them was already drowning in budget cuts. This tragedy wasn't just a natural disaster, it was a man-made failure of leadership. If this story moved you, don't scroll past. Like this video. Subscribe for more deep, honest reporting. Share to raise awareness. And turn on the bell so you never miss a story. This is Orbipoint, where truth meets urgency.